Welcome to episode 10 of the 24-Hour Hustle Show, and today we got special guest, Dr. Shellie Hipsky. Welcome to the 24-Hour Hustle Show. I'm your host, Anthony Freeze, where I get a chance to sit down with accomplished guests and find out all about their 24-hour hustle. And today we got special guest, Dr. Shellie Hipsky. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so delighted to be here.
Absolutely. I'm so glad that you were able to be here, especially on such a short notice, time-wise, everything.
It's been crazy, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely crazy.
It's been nuts. It's been like, I've been going to LA and New York, and last night with Lady Gaga, and I got the kids, and everything is just, it is truly 24-hour hustle.
Absolutely. I've seen it, and I truly believe it. I mean, it's the
real deal.
The hustle is real, so to speak. But just before we get into everything, just so that people have a little bit of understanding of who you are, I mean, because you have a lot of huge accomplishments and that I've been able to see and encounter. So number one thing, you're a TV host of your own TV show, Inspiring Lives with Dr. Shellie.
Mm-hmm.
You also have your own radio show, Empowering Women Radio. You've written 11 books. I mean, geez, that is a lot. And you're working on your 12th.
I am.
And then also you have Inspiring Lives magazine. And then, on top of even all that, you're a mompreneur. So like I said before, you are the true definition of what it means to be working and doing 24-hour hustle.
24 hours.
Absolutely.
I had a secretary at the university who, like, people would always be like, how is Shellie doing all this? Like, what's going on? Like, how does she fit it all into a day? And she would always be like, she was so sweet, but like, oh my God, I love her. She'd be like, look, they give Dr. Shellie, God gives Dr. Shellie an extra hour a day so that she can help all these people. And I thought, oh, that's sweet. That's really sweet. And I do. I mean, I feel like you have one line. Damn it!
So we keep it real. This is actually really good right now because she's so busy her phone literally is blowing up all the time. Like, this is real. This doesn't get any realer than this. This is good stuff. So who is that calling?
Business stuff.
Okay, business stuff. We can't talk about that. So,
yeah.
but the hustle is real.
The hustle is real.
So,
being a CEO and running a nonprofit and doing the mom stuff, it gets to be a lot.
Yeah.
It does, but it's doable because of my team and because of the people I have supporting me and because of technology.
Right.
If I didn't have technology, if I couldn't like whip it out and be like, oh yeah, we're going live, yeah, and then the next second I'm like, oh, I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I'm making this connection happen and those kind of things, then it wouldn't. Like
I think you would have made it happen. I have no doubt you would have made it happen.
My little typewriter.
I think you definitely would have. But we'll definitely get into work-life balance in the show because being a mompreneur, I mean, and doing other things that you're doing and having kids and also being in business for yourself can be a very daunting task, but you make it work.
Well, I love it. I love every piece and part of it. I really do. And I was a teacher and a professor back in the day. I loved that too. I loved reaching out to my students, but now I'm reaching out to my clients and my team and just making things happen and profiling these incredible entrepreneurs around the globe. That gets me happy.
Yeah.
It really does.
That's awesome.
And also the charity aspect of it too. I love that too. So.
That's awesome. So like we do always on this show, let's get into your backstory a little bit for people who do not know. Let's find out a little bit more about your story, how you became who you are, and how you got to the point where you wanted to become an entrepreneur.
Absolutely. So I was a teacher for many years, kids with special needs, and then I was an assistant principal at a school with kids with emotional behavioral disabilities. And these were the kids that were kind of throwaway kids. Like they had been sort of thrown away by society. Some of them were cutters, or they had lots of different really emotional issues, homicidal, suicidal, bipolar, like just like the whole gamut of kiddos that really needed someone to, get into get into their space and be able to work with them and love on them.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of brought that different vibe to the assistant principalship because I loved them through it,
Right.
and used some of the techniques that I used to balance my own life with them because they were so stressed out all the time. And
Mm-hmm.
like I had kids doing yoga in my office so that they could like chillax. Or
Uh-huh.
we set up a big boxing thing, so they got a heavy bag.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
I
they
would've
could
been
like
with
hit the
that.
heavy bag.
Yeah.
So, and I think like everybody needs these things. Everybody needs these tools to kind of like take it down and reset. So I think that's probably, and I have not mastered it, Anthony. I wish that I had. I wish I could be like, oh, I've mastered it, but
Mm-hmm.
I really haven't. But I did do the whole book series that went international bestseller.
Mm-hmm.
Found out how women around the world found inspiration, empowerment, balance, and that's another reason that I'm able to balance it, because I was at my wit's end.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, I was like, how am I going to find balance?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how in the world? So I went and I asked the experts.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of what you're doing here with the 24-hour hustle. You have to find the experts
Mm-hmm.
where they are and ask them, and then you start to form your own way of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a beautiful thing when that happens.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you.
So what inspired you to get into entrepreneurship? What were some of the things that made you want to take the leap for somebody that, is kind of thinking about it, they haven't really jumped into it yet? What was it for you that made you want to take that leap?
Well, I think it was pulling on me very hard at one point. And I had just achieved tenure at the university,
Mm-hmm.
which is a huge goal of mine, and it's pretty unheard of for a woman at my age to achieve tenure, because you have to jump through all these hoops of scholarship and service and everything that you're doing with the teaching. And I got that goal,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, yeah! And then I was like, okay, what's next? Because, I'm always looking for that next level. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that entrepreneurs are always doing that. They always are looking at the big picture and seeing what they can do for that next step. And when it came to me, and I had the TV show years ago, and I had the radio, everything was just hopping and popping. And,
Yeah.
and I was being asked to go around the world. I was speaking at the University of Oxford in England, and at Pepperdine University in front of over 1,500 people, and United Way for Women, and then the product lines are popping up, and this is happening, and this is happening, and this is happening. There's only so many things a person can do.
Right.
And the entrepreneurial type of aspect provided me, albeit a crazy ass schedule, but a schedule that I could control.
Right.
And I could be there for my kids, and I could be there for my husband, and I could kind of see where I wanted to go
Mm-hmm.
with my big vision
Mm-hmm.
and make it happen.
Right. Well, that's actually a good point. It actually brings up a good question. How do you manage everything? And someone that is trying to get their time management skills down, especially being an entrepreneur, and when you got your time packed, especially when you have everything filled within your 24 hours, you got to know how to manage those things and know how to dictate certain things and know how to delegate. So how do you go about, developing your time management and keeping yourself organized?
So it's definitely come down to my team. My team has been fantastic with helping with that. But when I was getting my doctorate, I think that I started to develop some of those skill sets of, blocking off time, making time for things that really count, being able to maneuver things and to delegate. I mean, delegate is it's a responsibility
Right.
of a CEO to be able to say, not only you do this and you do this and you do that, but, oh my God, you're good at this.
Mm-hmm.
You are going to rock the crap out. You are the one for this.
Right.
I need you to do this. Let's
Right.
do it.
Right.
And you get them fired up about it because it's something that they love too.
Right.
When I first started being the boss,
Mm-hmm.
I think that I would just sort of delegate, convenience
Mm-hmm.
for me. But then I started looking at it more through a teacher's lens. And I would say, oh my gosh, this person's really good at this.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I should delegate it to. Like, we just took onto our staff Brittany Jarrett. She is in LA. We were expanding at a hugely rapid rate for our journalism, for Inspiring Lives magazine, and for our ad placements. And I see in her the ability to just take this and soar, because you know, I hung out with her in LA, we had fun, we did karaoke, you know, and we went shopping together, we did all kinds of stuff, and I just kind of got to know who she was and what she was all about, and then I placed her into that position. But you can't put a square peg in a round hole. Right. So that's another part of leadership, is really getting to know the people that are on your team, their skill sets, what they bring to the table, and then taking that and just letting them blossom and grow and be empowered. And then your team's going to grow. And then your business is going to grow, and then you're going to be a success.
Well, yeah, like that's one of the biggest things that I love about your organization and what you do, and the culture that you infuse into your business. I absolutely love it. It's almost like
love it too. It's family.
I was just about to say it's like a family, which is an awesome feeling to have. So, you know, how did you go about, you know, number one, identifying people and getting people for your team? For somebody that's, you know, trying to build something up, how would someone go about building up their team and identifying people? And then once you do have that in place, how do you get that culture in place? And how could someone go about duplicating something that you've been able to build up?
Oh my gosh, that's a great question. Okay, so, but I'm going to take it from a different angle, because I know that there's entrepreneurs out there that are, their first thing is like, oh crap, how am I going to pay everybody, right?
True,
like that
true.
is like, that is the huge worry. Like, I want to be able to take care of everybody. And I think that when people are starting off, you look at your skill sets, you look at your deficiencies, and then you figure out who else, who can add to that and make it a win-win for everybody. I know that when I first started off, it was a lot of bartering. And when I was driving here today, and I was talking to Andrew Frost over at the Fairfield Inn, and he, near the airport, and he offered me a place to stay. When I write, you know, I'm writing my 12th book, and you know the name of it. Look in the camera and tell them what it is. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Woo! Brand new. They're gonna remember that, right?
You can't forget that.
They didn't even know what was gonna. They didn't know what was gonna hit them. We just brought it. We were just like, woohoo, brand new.
We're just gonna bring it.
We're just bringing it. So I'm on the phone. I'm driving. Okay.
Driving and on the phone.
Yeah, we'll say up.
Yeah.
I'm driving along, and we worked out this deal with this gentleman who owns 2 of the hotels near the airport, that I can stay there overnight for 2 nights. All I have to do is do a lot of the social media stuff. That way, I'm going to be able to do my 24-hour writing my books, doing my magazines. I'm going to have meetings on Sunday. I'm going to have all these people that are like, oh, Dr. Shellie, can you go to coffee with me? Because I get a lot of those. I love you guys, but I go to a lot of coffee. I don't even like coffee, people. It's okay.
Don't invite for coffee.
No, I like chai.
There you go.
And I love a good Malbec.
There you go. Good insight right there.
Okay. So we're gonna meet there on Sunday. So he's gonna get a lot of publicity and PR on live streams, on social media, you know, making it pop. On the 24-hour hustle show. People, they might not have even known about this hotel until I just told them about it. Right. So that is a win for him, because he's getting all the people that follow me are going to be like, oh, maybe I should go stay there because Dr. Shellie says it's a cool place to go. Right. And they help out entrepreneurs. So let's help each other out, that kind of stuff. So the bartering piece is huge. And it's a way to survive and thrive without going in the tank.
Right. How can you provide value to the other person? How can they benefit?
Absolutely. How can you provide it, and how can they provide it for you? And then you're working together. Okay, so that was the bartering piece. Take me back to that question, honey, because that was a couple questions.
Oh yeah, it definitely was. Well, so how to be able to develop the team, which we did cover. So then, how do you develop that culture in your organization? You know, that family aspect. How do you start to build that up when you start developing your team?
I think that I lead with love. I think that if you lead with your heart and you have their interests in mind, their lives, because we're all busy. we all need loved on. We all need to feel valued. We all need to feel ownership of something. Just because I'm the CEO doesn't mean that I'm the only person that, I'm not a top-down kind of leader.
Right, same.
I embrace everybody, and I'm like, well, I'm hugging on people, and I'm like, I love people, and I love to lead my team, and I love to see them lead too. Because the whole thing of leaders lead leaders.
Leaders create more leaders.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what, when I taught in the doctoral program at Robert Morris, that's what I was doing. I was working with the instructional management and leadership PhD students, teaching them the global perspective. So that's what I do. I take future leaders and show them the ropes.
That's awesome. So for somebody that, never been in business before and things like that, I mean, you have a ton of experience in this space. So what were some of maybe the biggest adversities that you had to encounter, and how did you overcome them? And how does someone go about overcoming adversity and challenges and things like that?
Okay, so I can tell you the story about when I became a CEO, entrepreneur for real. So I was getting ready to do the television show, Inspiring Lives with Dr. Shellie. So I'm gonna tell it right to the.
You can talk. Yeah, you can talk to him all day.
Bring it in. Okay, so Robert's like, oh crap! I gotta move the camera.
Wait a minute, I'm here too.
Yeah, but I think they want to know this.
Right. Yeah. Definitely.
Okay. And you've heard this story before. I'm talking to them. Give me a second here. Okay, so thank you. Hello. Okay, people. This is what went down.
Get that focus in.
Get the bangs going.
There it is.
You can go a little out of focus, Robert. I'm okay with that. Okay, so this is the point I was at in my life. I had people booked to come in from around the world for Inspiring Lives with Dr. Shellie. I was ready to do my first TV talk show. Everything was ready to rock. We had the sponsors lined up, and we had the audience ready for everything, and everything was going to be so cool. I was currently, at that time, raising two little bambinos, a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, and was going through a pretty rough divorce at that time. And I was teaching full-time at the university, full time, constantly. Wow, you're almost up my nose, Robert.
I didn't think you would actually do that.
This is keeping it real here.
Keeping it real. That's how we roll.
Right.
They know exactly what my nose looks like. Okay, so I'm at the university. I'm teaching at the university, and I am working my butt off to make sure that this sponsorship stuff works. Okay, and if you've ever tried to get sponsorship or advertising or anything that's in the sales stuff, you will work like a dog to make it happen. So I'm doing pro bono work for this big company that said that they were going to pay for the whole thing. And I am doing their keynoting. I'm leading their leaders. I'm going in front of hundreds of their people and saying, how to make it work. So the day before the check is supposed to be signed for Inspiring Lives with Dr. Shellie, I get a phone call from that company, and they pulled out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I was devastated. I had to regroup. And I had to go and kind of do my first real true pitch as an entrepreneur. And I went in, and I'm going to give props where props are due. First Commonwealth Bank. I walked into First Commonwealth Bank, and I talked to this fantastic lady, and I told her my story, and I started to cry. I gotta tell you, it was emotional because this was a lot of money.
Right.
It's a multi-million-dollar studio that I was taping in, and I was, at that time, I didn't think of myself as a businesswoman at all. Meanwhile then, Best Businesswoman in Pittsburgh in 2013.
Just saying.
Just throwing it out there. But I looked at her, and I appealed to her sense of, I have to do this. The world needs this inspiration. And she gave me my first business line of credit that day. The next day, I went into the studio and I signed this huge check and handed it over to the studio. And then I was the executive producer and the host. And we made it happen. And ever since then, I've been able to, sign the checks, pay off the stuff, make things happen, and really get out there and just make Inspiring Lives International shine.
Right.
And now the magazine.
Yeah.
And it's just rocking.
Yeah. I mean, and everything looks so great. I mean, from the website to the magazine, everything is super, very well done. I mean, you've definitely done a very great job on it. And a lot of the adversity in that story, I mean, is definitely just having good perseverance. You got to have those different characteristics. You got to have a high belief level, which you definitely had.
Yes.
And something that you could get emotional about. I mean, if you get emotional to the point where you're in tears,
you're in tears at a bank, like, oh God, I gotta make this work.
Right. You truly believe in it.
Yeah.
And I feel the same way about the show too.
Right.
I mean, there's definitely been instances where I felt like, man, this is like emotionally getting crazy, but you just have you definitely have the right mindset, and you gotta have the right attitude to be able to just keep persevering, keep going, and just have the faith that things are gonna work out. And if you keep going, they will work out.
Yeah.
I've seen that firsthand myself. So that definitely is a great story. So tell us a little bit about the 12th book that you're working on right now. What's that all about? What's the concept behind this book?
So this is 1, 2, 3.
Woo!
Brand new.
That is hilarious.
So it is Woohoo Brand New because I am all about I became a brand before I even really knew what I was doing with it, just because I was being myself, you know, and I was just, rocking the red lipstick and the high heels and making stuff happen, and so it's all about how to form a really truly authentic brand and then present it to the universe at large, and it's really vital in this day and age.
Oh yeah.
For entrepreneurs, my God, even if you want to date these days, you got to be able to market yourself, right?
Absolutely.
I met my husband on Match.com, so.
Hey, and that's becoming more normal these days, each and every day.
Absolutely. And I was very well marketed on that. I was because I met the perfect guy.
Right.
But I was authentic on it. And you have to find ways to brand yourself.
So what are some quick tips that you would give to entrepreneurs that can help them brand themselves? Like, what are some core steps that they absolutely have to take or should take?
First is self-reflection. Ever since the Greek philosopher said, know thyself, you gotta know yourself. You have to be in your real true zone, because otherwise it's going to come across as fake.
Right.
And you don't want that.
Right.
And branding comes down to everything from the colors that you're always wearing, or you've got your red and black here, you got that rocking, to your mannerisms. So I think you really need to know yourself and be authentic to that. Change it up, give them a little surprise every once in a while. Have the cameraman go up your nose. I don't care what you're going to do, but make sure that you're truly staying on point with your branding.
Right.
Okay? I think that right now is the time that if you are not doing all your social media...
Oh, yeah. Like, what day and age are you living in?
Right, exactly. What's going on with you?
Yeah, last time I
Especially if
checked,
you're an entrepreneur.
last time I checked, it was 2017.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when I've been marketing my books, it doesn't matter how damn many books I write, how good they are. Oh, they could be brilliant. Nobody knows about them. Nobody's reading them. Who the hell cares? You know? So you need to, whatever it is that you are out there branding, you need to do it efficiently on all your different social media. You need to be tweeting it, you need to be Instagramming it, and you need to do it the correct way. I've really enjoyed looking at your stuff on Instagram.
I appreciate it.
Why don't you tell them your Instagram tag?
So my Instagram tag, Anthony_Freeze. That's my personal, and then we have the fan page, which is 24 Hour Media on Instagram. Got a fan page up on Facebook, which is 24 Hour Media as well. I'm up on YouTube. Like
Absolutely.
you got to be everywhere.
You have to be everywhere.
You know.
And you can be.
Yeah.
I mean, just this morning alone, I was talking to people in Singapore and Africa and the UK, and like these people, they're out there and they want to connect.
Right.
And they want to make things happen with you. So you need to get your face, your brand out there.
Absolutely, absolutely. So just in wrapping up a little bit here, what is like the big message that you try to impact on people, or if there's something that we may have didn't cover that may be on your heart that you want to talk about, or something that you want to promote? What's on your heart right now that you may want to share, or what's the legacy you want to lay out? So right now the floor is yours.
Okay, so my tagline has been and always will be, inspiration is just a story away. I really truly feel that we all have a story and that we need to get out there and tell it. And whether that be through coming on board with the magazine, maybe being featured in the magazine or on the podcast, or but also, I guess, what's really on my heart today, because I just had a major conversation about this, is the dramatic effects that my students had in the Empower You Masterclass that I did. They were able to truly create their vision and their brand and package it for the world. So if you're out there and you're thinking, I feel like I need to take these steps, I'm just not sure how, then contact me, or Kelly Frost, of course. Mm-hmm. Kelly Frost is my right-hand girl, and we'll help you get into that class, because it was really powerful for a lot of the women, and we do plan on doing it again in January of 2018, so that they can get their vision, because I know you have it in you.
Absolutely.
That person out there, they're watching, they're like, oh my God, I do.
Absolutely.
Right. So we'll get it out of you.
Awesome.
We'll get it out of you. Either through Empower You or Woohoo or the magazine.
It'll come from somewhere.
It'll come from somewhere. Absolutely.
So where's the best place someone can contact you, or whether it be on Facebook, Instagram, where would the best place be?
I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere.
You're omnipresent.
Yes, I am. No, I think that Instagram, Shellie,
okay,
of course. Facebook. And if you're a female entrepreneur, the Global Sisterhood of Empowering Women page is where you need to be, and you need to be networking. That is part of my nonprofit, and it's fantastic. The ladies there have bonded like nobody's business, and everybody's coming back in for the Global Gala. Mm-hmm. You need to be there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
Oh yeah.
And the oh my God, so much.
There's so much going on.
I can't even tell you.
I'll be at the event.
You'll be. Yeah.
This is the one December 8th.
Oh no, I'm thinking ahead.
Oh, you're thinking far ahead.
December 8th.
Yeah.
Empowering Women in Philanthropy at the Allegheny HYP Club. April 13th to 15th is when we bring women in from around the world.
Oh, okay.
We are literally looking at having a queen of a country come in for this, because she's that pumped up. Mm. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta be there, Robert. It's gonna be amazing.
That'll be huge.
Last time people came in from Singapore, South Africa, Canada, UK, like all over. Mm-hmm. It was absolutely incredible, absolutely amazing. So, we'd love to have you there. You should be there. So, oh my God, there's so many things. Just follow me.
Yeah, you gotta follow her to be able to find all this awesome information out.
Yes.
So that is awesome. So I definitely appreciate you being on the show. We definitely got to do a recap. Because there's you just have so much power pack stuff going on. Episode 2
my phone's gonna ring any minute.
Another episode or a recap episode will only be right. Just to be able to follow along, from a year from now, 2 years from now, just to see how everything's going. I think it would be an awesome idea to do.
We'll do it.
So yeah, we'll definitely do that. We'll get that on the books when the time is right. So now that you know what Dr. Shellie does with her 24 hours, I want to know what you do with your 24 hours. Definitely like, subscribe, turn on notifications, leave a comment below, and we will see you on the next episode.